Hey, what's up? No video of me today. Hope you enjoy this consistent standard background. I got a lot of pictures. I just don't. I'm just lazy right now. Uh, Lung capacity is still coming back up. But I was on Twitter. I was on my wrestling account, and on my wrestling account, you're probably like, how does this relate to your normal comparative reasoning stuff? Well, okay. On my wrestling account, I was looking at some some retorts from some Japanese wrestlers, and I was reading their comments, and I was also thrown down a tiny little rabbit hole when I saw a picture, and it was of Bernie Sanders, like he was shushing the crowd, and I don't know what the hiragana was saying because I do not understand Japanese hiragana. I understand most of the katakana, and even then it can be a little loose. So I decided to read into what that was, and it was very simple. Just said, "Don't say a word." I'm thinking, "Don't say a word." It did look like Bernie Sanders was shushing someone, and I thought, okay, that's kind of funny. I got a little smile out of it, and I decided to read down. So I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking, what do they got to say about Bernie Sanders? And it seems that the Japanese like Bernie Sanders. They do, to an extent. See, they were talking about how Bernie was nice and how he was, really for the people. But then one person said that the problem is that Bernie Sanders is too harsh on the wealthy. So I'm thinking, too harsh on the wealthy? He ain't nearly as mean as I would be. He ain't even close. You don't even want to know how far. I mean, I've even spoke how far, but you don't really want to know how far I go with the wealthy. You'd be like, that's criminal. Because I bring them down to our level and beat them with experience. That's what I would do. But this ain't about me. This is about the Japanese and how this relates to us to an extent. Actually, a lot more than you think. We got a lot in common with them. They got a lot in common with us. They talked about him being too harsh on the wealthy, and they said that's going to make. And then reading further down, what I was able to decipher is that some were saying, hey, him being so harsh on the wealthy is why he's not going to get elected. Some were saying him being harsh on the wealthy is why it's going to be hard for him to get elected. But what I couldn't turn my head away from was the fact that they're talking about him getting elected. They're not talking about anybody else in that thread. No one brought up anybody else in over 30 different posts. And each one of these had roughly 5 to 10 likes each. So they're talking about him. And then some said that it got to the rhetoric where it was saying that he's not going to win because he's harsh on the wealthy. Like, he's good, he's got some nice things, but the fact that he's even talking bad or being mean towards the wealthy means that I don't even like him. That's how it was coming across from them. And I thought about that, and you know what? That seems to be the problem here. No, that is the problem. I'm not gonna talk like some lily-livered, washed-out journalist that's afraid of their own shadow. No, that is one of the problems here. I'm tired of all that seems and maybe and appears and all that. Say that when you just don't know. When when it seems like it's up in the air, stuff like that. So what happens is Bernie Sanders, yeah, he wants to do a lot against the wealthy. He wants to remove their power in politics. He wants to remove their power in state, local politics. He wants to remove their monopolized stranglehold on the country. He wants to remove them in being in power over. I mean, come on now. That's why it's called an oligarch, because the wealthy control the politics. which is why Hillary and others have failed, because people are tired of them catering to the wealthy class. However, are we just being upset with what we would do anyway? You know? Because that's what happens. People get upset a lot at these things, but at the same time, we're raised, we're hardwired, we're reared on, if somebody is wealthy, they've got money, they've got power, therefore you must cater to them. They come into your restaurant because they have that financial status. You treat them with the respect that everybody should have already had. You go above and beyond the call of duty to make sure they're happy where they are. You don't care that everybody else is happy. You just want them to be happy so they can say something nice and drive more business to your restaurant. And a lot of people might say, well, yeah, but see, that's the problem. It kills equality. When someone goes into a restaurant, they should be treated just as jacked up or as great as anyone else that comes into your establishment or that establishment, depending upon who's listening. And over in Japan, just like here in the United States, they throw rose petals at the feet of those in power. It's what they have to do because that's what they've been trained to do. And they don't know any different. They don't know any better, so they just keep doing the same thing while complaining about it. There was a Will Smith song. He says that I didn't have money, nobody could seem to cut me, but now that I've got money, they want to give me stuff free. Like, and he's like, basically save that for the next man. It's like, look, I got money, I'm all right. I was broke and poor, just coming in here trying to do stuff, and I get the hard lashings, and it's like, oh, you got to pay for that. You ain't got the money, LOL, you. But now he's wealthy, and it's like, oh man, take this on the house, man. Yeah, man, you're you. That's what happens all the time. And I've mentioned this before, but it does need to stop. It does. Because when you care only about the money, that's when you don't care about your politics. When you just don't. You want policies, not politics. Money is politics. Statesmen and whatnot, that's policy. There's a big difference. Politicians would get up, go to their 9 to 5, and then when we needed stuff done, they go up there and we supplement their pay. And they would, they'd go there and work. We would, and once they got the job done to our satisfaction, that's when they would, hey, okay, now it's time to come on back. Go back to your 9 to 5, and we don't pay you anymore. Tax money was used to supplement them when they weren't working their 9 to 5. They were statesmen. They which would take on a different connotation these days. But yeah, when a female works at a grocery store, cashier, bagging and all that, because now they're going to do both. And all of a sudden that person runs and with $300+ they're able to win, a political area in their state. That's how it was meant to be. That's how it's supposed to be. When I say supposed, it's an irrational obligation. And also sometimes it just simply means that's how it has been. That's what it was meant to be. That's the best way for it to function. Sometimes that's what it's supposed to means. Not often these days. And that's how it is best. And the Japanese, you think they don't have this issue? They got all the issues we got. Every single one of them. They cater to the rich. They cater to the wealthy. They cater to the powerful. They have a massive poverty rate there. They look down on the impoverished. They look down on the poor. They look down on those who are in need. They turn their backs on them with a hard iron heart. They don't care. It's just as bad. Just like here, where poor people get beat up, kicked, killed, all this other stuff. Attacked by the police, attacked by citizens, citizens, everybody. Poor and homeless citizens get attacked by, citizens who are probably not as poor, but probably close. the Japanese are talking about Bernie Sanders, and they are really having a go at it. They are. And I don't blame them, because Barack Hussein Obama was on the lips of everyone around the world, because the world knew that it needed better. Bush started multiple wars, got U.S. bases around the world up in arms, and nobody was safe. And Obama was supposed to be and he's still seen as, the great end all be all, but people are slowly waking up to what he really was, who he was, and what he still is. And people got tired of that. They got complacent, as usual, which is the cycle of human beings, and then voted in Trump. And now the world is like, we need another Obama, but the truth is we don't need someone that weak. We don't need someone that feckless. Although Obama did give us some great minor things, he did not do the things that he said he would do. And he did things in favor of those that hate him, that voted against him and our best interests. And now we got Trump, which is exactly the spitting image of the Republican Party, the epitome of the Republicans in this country. And people around the world have no choice but to notice it, because they talk. They talk. Word gets around and they talk. And the Japanese are talking. Now, does that mean because the Japanese are talking that we need to just, let's listen to them? No. But it lets you know that others are paying attention to us way more than we are paying attention to us. So we need to pay attention to us. That is the message. Pay attention to the United States. Pay attention to the politics to the best of your ability. And make sure that you're not voting for your tribe. Make sure you're not voting for your side. Vote for policy. Vote for policy. And make sure that policy is held by somebody with a track record of not changing their position at the drop of a hat, the toss of a dollar. Make sure that it's somebody that has gone down in the fight. Make sure it's somebody that's fought alongside those in the struggle, of the struggle, and not those who are creating the struggle. This has been Cedric Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.